Namaste, my friends. This particular routine that we're going to be working on is about feeling more love and compassion. And to do that, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually open up our chest or heart chakra area. Now, I'm going to be using some blocks to prop me up. I'm using 3 of them, or you can use a blanket as well. And you can put that here instead, or you can just lay back flat in Shavasana, whichever you're most comfortable with. If you're using the blocks, it is going to create a little bit more opening in the chest, so you're going to have a lot more of a stretch. And it might be too much for you at first, so you may want to try this just laying flat on the floor or using the blanket first. So we're going to lay here, and basically our upper back's going to be, like the middle of the back's going to be against this lower block. The higher blocks, the bigger blocks, we're going to rest our shoulders on, and we're going to rest back like this. And it's going to also be propping up our neck. But this is a really good chest opener, and also wonderful for opening up the heart chakra. So we're going to spend a little time in here getting our breath and breathing in and out. We're going to breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. And as you do this, and you feel the openness of your chest, and you feel the openness of your heart chakra, and you just allow your breath to move through your body, move through your chest, move through your heart chakra, and just allow it to be what it needs to be. At first, you may be breathing out a lot of tension and stress and anxiety. And doing this pose can bring some of that tightness into your chest. So if you're feeling any tightness in your chest, you want to breathe it out. And as you breathe in, you want to breathe in love and peace and compassion and light. And keep breathing, steady breaths in, 1, 2, 3, and out, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you're breathing in and out, allow your shoulders to relax into the blocks or blanket or mat. Allow your neck to relax and rest. Allow yourself to be supported and carried. And as you breathe in the love and compassion as you think of yourself. And as you breathe out all the bad feelings or negative thoughts you might have toward yourself. And let all of that go as you find the love and peace in your heart. And you're going to breathe in, you're going to think about the love and compassion that you have for others in your life, and how much they mean to you and how much you care about them. And as you breathe out, you're going to breathe out all the anxiety and stress these people may be causing you, or frustrations you may be feeling toward them, as you realize that none of that really matters. What matters is the love and connection that you have for them and with them. As you breathe in, you feel the love for yourself growing. As you realize that as you're doing this, you're creating time and space for yourself. Time and space that you greatly need, and you appreciate the fact that you're doing this and will continue to do this. And as you breathe out, you're letting out any tensions or any little bits that might be remaining that just don't belong there. And as you breathe in, your heart soars with the affection that you feel for all the people in your life and all the beautiful things in your life and everything that makes you feel so good and so content. And as you breathe out, you're letting go of all the last tensions, the last struggles, anything else that might remain. And take another couple really good breaths in and out as you enjoy this feeling of love and peace. As your heart radiates outward, you feel its power. You feel it moving outward. You feel it encompassing you. And it feels so good. And we're going to slowly come up and remove blocks or blanket. And then we're going to start our warm-up. We're going to start out in child's pose. So we're just going to come back, resting our rear on our heels, arms straight out in front of us, forehead to the ground, and just breathe. Now we're going to come up, hands and knees. Our knees are going to be directly under our hips, hands directly underneath our shoulders, and we're going to move into cat and cow so we can put some movement into our chest here now. We're going to first, arch our back up into cat, and then down into cow. And we're going to move with our breath as we breathe in, move to cat, and breathe out, move to cow. And we're going to go through these movements a few times. The only thing moving is the back as we move up and down. And our breath is moving with us. And we're going to come to a flat back. And then we're going to go into threading the needle. So we're going to take our right hand and move it underneath the left and try and get all the way to the floor, shoulder and cheek to the floor, allowing your back and shoulders to stretch out. If you need to, you can put a blanket underneath your cheek and shoulder to give you an extra support or bring the floor up to you. We're going to sit here for a moment and feel that nice stretch. Being aware too that if you have any shoulder issues, that this may not be the best pose for you. You can go back into child's pose. Now we're going to come back to center. We're going to do it on the other side. We're going to take the left arm, move it underneath the right, and then move the cheek and shoulder to the ground and breathe. And we're going to come back and we're going to move into Cobra. So we're going to come down all the way down to the mat. So the forearms are going to be up here, flat for right now. And make sure your feet are flat on the ground. And now we're going to move back a little bit with our hands so that we can lift up our upper part of our body and arch our back backwards. Our shoulders are down, our head is back, and we are looking up to the ceiling. And breathe. This is really good too for opening up the heart chakra. Allowing it to be nice and wide as we move through these poses and think about our heart and where it is and how it feels. And now we're going to come up onto downward dog. We're not going to move the front hands. We're just going to position the body. And we're going to rock backward. And we're going to lift our rear up. And we're going to create an angle, a nice angle here with our hips. And reach our heels to the floor. They do not have to touch the floor. But if you reach them to the floor, it's going to stretch out those hamstrings in the back. And we're going to hold this for a moment. And now we're going to come into Cobra. If you do this correctly, you don't have to move anything. You do not have to move your hands. What you're doing is you're moving your body into this position and then you're turning your feet outward and looking up. And now we're going to go back to downward dog. So we're going to take the feet, curl them under, and then we're just going to move the body backward, not moving the hands or the arms. Well, we're tilting the arms back. But the hands are staying flat on the mat. We're not moving them. And now we're going to move back into Cobra. And then back into downward dog. And one more time. Doing this is creating space in our heart chakra. And it's also giving us nice stretching in the back, as well as strengthening our wrists and our arms and shoulders. And from downward dog, we're going to step forward, meeting our hands and our feet together. And we're going to bend over into a forward fold. Let your back as straight as you can. And don't want to tuck your neck under. You want to try and keep your neck nice and long. And now we're going to reverse swan up and reach up. And then bring our hands to our heart. I'm going to move to the side of the mat here so you can see this. But from this pose, we're going to go down into garland. So we're going to move our feet out just a little bit and come down into garland pose. And now we're going to go into a sleeping pigeon pose. So we're going to move down to the mat, put our back leg out, move one leg and the front leg in the front here. We're going to do both sides, so I'm doing my right side first. All right, so the idea is to have this leg all the way down so you have a straight line all the way back to the tip of your toes. So make sure that knee is straight. It's not out like to the side or anything. And this leg, Preferably should be here, but if you have to bring it in, that's fine. What is ever most comfortable for you is good. Then we're going to take our hands and put them out in front of us, and then we're going to just lift our chest back, up and back. And this is yet another good heart-opening pose to help us feel strong and feel radiant and feel that compassion as we open up to ourselves and to others. And now we're going to move forward, and you can stay here on your forearm, or you can go down a little further. If you have a yoga block, you can bring it down and move your head to the block to get a little bit deeper stretch. And this is really good stretch for your back, but also for your hamstrings and your hips and your groin. And it just feels good. And we're breathing in and out. All right, we're going to take this pose on to the other side. And we're going to swing this leg around. And put the back one, make sure it's nice and straight, and then your other leg in front. Your hands down, and they're spread about shoulder width apart. And then you're going to arch back just a bit and breathe. And enjoying this heart as it's open. And you can feel the love move through you, become a part of you, and radiate out from you. I'm going to move forward, either onto the forearms and hold here, or you can move down a little further with forehead to the block. And if you want an even deeper stretch, you can move the block out of the way and go all the way down. And feel the stretch, allowing it to be what it needs to be, knowing that as you do this, you're showing your body love and care and appreciation for what it is. And you're going only as far as comfortable for you and not pushing yourself because you love yourself. And you would never want to do anything to harm yourself. And we're going to come back up. Now we're going to do what's called cow face pose. I'm going to do this from the side so you can see it. If you have a yoga strap, now would be a good time to use it, or a belt, like a robe belt would work as well. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to be crossing at the knees, and we're going to be sitting up straight and tall with our sit bones grounded into the floor. And then we're going to take our arms and bind them in the back. So we're going to take one arm, it's going to be up, and the one arm is going to be down. And I'm using I'm going to get the strap. Using the strap to connect the upper and lower arm. If you can connect the fingers without using the strap, that is perfectly fine. I'm not there yet, so I'm using the strap. And we're going to sit here and breathe. And try and sit as straight as tall as you can. Allowing the stretch to be what it needs to be. And breathing. Now we're going to do this on the other side. So we're going to be switching our legs, crossing the other one over, and then we're going to switch the arms. So I had this one up, so the other one needs to be up. So get in position, straighten the spine, connect the two hands with the strap, or you can connect the fingers if you can get that far into the stretch, and breathe. So now we're going to position ourselves on our mat. So we're laying flat on the mat. We're going to do a reclined cobbler's pose just to stretch everything out. Putting our soles of our feet together on the mat. And just relaxing for a moment. Now we're going to move into fish pose. And fish pose is, you're going to want to put your hands underneath your bottom and lift up from your waist and arch your back backward, like so. And the tip of your head is down on the ground, and your legs are straight out as we open up our heart and allow ourselves to radiate outward all the love and compassion and light and passion and excitement that we have. And it fills us and is a part of us. It makes us feel good, calm, and at peace. And now we're going to rest back onto the mat. Bring our knees into our chest for a moment and just hold this. Allow ourselves to breathe out any tension or stress that might be left over. Now we're going to put out one leg straight out, not touching the mat. It's hovering just above. One knee to the chest. And then we're going to lift our upper body to our knee, or as far as we can, and hold this pose and breathe. Now we're going to switch sides. Knee to the chest, legs straight out, not touching the ground. Lift our upper body as far as we can to our knee and breathe. And we're going to do legs up the wall. I don't have a wall right now to use, but you can certainly go up against the wall, and it's actually having this as a supported pose is a lot more beneficial too, and you can hold it for a lot longer. But for right now, we're just going to do legs up the wall like this, legs straight up, right over the hips. Make sure the back is nice and grounded into the floor, and breathe. And now we're going to swing our knees and legs to one side while our shoulders are still flat in the mat. Take our arms outward and then look to the opposite side that your knees are in and just breathe. I love this spiral twist. It really helps with the back very much. And it's just a really great way to end a yoga routine, to stretch it all out. And add a nice twist at the same time. Now we're going to roll on our back a little bit and take our knees to the other side and head to the opposite direction and breathe. And roll onto the back a little bit. And we're going to come back into cobbler's pose, supporting our rear with the hands makes this pose a little better because it allows us to open our hips just a little bit more. And breathe. And now we're going to move back into Shavasana as we relax on the mat. Let our body melt into the mat. And as we enjoy this restful pose and enjoy the routine we did to help us open up, to be more loving, to be more compassionate, to feel good about ourselves and our bodies. We'll allow ourselves to fill up with this good feeling as we lay here and relax, letting all the cares of the world just disappear as we embrace our good feeling in our body, in our mind, and our soul. And we bring it now into our life and invite it into every part of our life. And we feel every part of our life this love and compassion, so it lessens the stress, reduces the sharp edges of life, and just creates a space of happiness, joy, and excitement. Now we're going to roll to our side and come up into a sitting position. And we're going to take all that good feeling we created through our practice today and bring it into our hearts as we move forward with a smile on our face and love in our hearts. Namaste.